Welcome to day 3. Today you will master the essential CRUD operations, create, read, update, delete, and become comfortable with the TypeORM repository. Think of repository as specialized manager for each of your entities. And what is repository? Imagine a library with different sessions and fictions, non-fictions, references, etc. Each section has a specialized library who know exactly how to add new book to their section, find a specific book quickly, update book information, remove old or damaged books. Okay, a repository in TypeORM is like that specialized librarian, but for your database entities, each entity get its own repository that know how to perform all database operation for that specific type of data. Okay, and already have created this day 3 CRUD, and this is the code which we have previously. Now I have just added here these three things. You can see before we are using this column as like this. Now I have used the decoration create date column. Directly we can do that. And by using update also. It will update the thing. Whenever updated, update operation perform, it will be executed. Okay. This by using this decoration. And I have used for the full name, this first name and last name I have written here. And the return and the type of that was string, right? Return type. Now let's move to SRC and let's create how we can create the things. The different approach we will see here. Let me create here one file as create operations.txt. Okay, and let me paste this code which we have already created it. This is a create operation and it is a async function create operation, and here we have imported our data source from data sources, right? And get repository have added user in that. Let me comment. Okay, okay, fine. So you can see here first how we can see how we can create and save at one step. Okay, here we are having user one and repository. We are saving the first name, last name, email. Directly we are passing the object, right? Object we are passing with the save method to the repository, and we are saving the things here, and directly it will be saved. Next, we are first creating the instance, you can see, and then we are saving the things. Okay, instance we have created and the repository dot save and the instance we are passing here now. Okay, in the third method we are creating directly, we are calling create method. It is similar to save, but we will call the save later. Okay, we are creating the instance, and later by using await we are saving the things into the database. Now let's see how we can insert bulk. Okay, bulk insert, how we can perform means how we can create it. Users to create, this is an array, in that we are passing the object and we are calling here await. This user repository dot save method we are calling here, and we are passing directly array, you can see here. Okay, we are passing the array now, and after all the instances we are returning from this repository. Okay, now let's move to our app.ts file and let me save it. And here I will remove it, the user, and import here create operations, and let's call that function here. Okay, Give one comment here and create operations, and here await create operation, and let's execute it. Let me come to the database and let's refresh. Currently we are having only one entry. So I will do one thing. Let's remove this first entry here. So currently we are having empty table. Now let's execute npm run start. So you can see here our operation has done and the things are committed successfully, right? The transaction has started and transaction has committed. You can see here, okay. And if you will go to now database, currently we are having directly uh, 5 entries. This is last 3 is from bulk insert and the other operation which we have performed there, right? So in this way we can perform the create operations, different operations. Okay. Now let's create here another file as update operations. Okay. Let me do one thing here. Let's create here. Let's go with a read operations as we are having data. So let's directly go with read operations. Hyphen operations dot ts, and we come to top. Let's see how we can perform read operations. So the same thing, the user repository we are getting here by passing user to the app data source dot get repository, and how we can find the user first. Let's see. So directly we are console logging the things here, and the length we are saying here, right? First time, last time, like that. So first one, user repository dot find, it will return all the users which we are having in the table. Okay, all the user which we are having in the table. Let me comment and let's execute one by one. Let me comment it. Save it and let's call this a read operation in our app. Let me comment this also. Now let's see read operations of it. Let's call this operation. Now let's execute npm run start, and it will not return as we have already console log the things and we can see the things in the terminal directly. So you can see here totally 5 user it has written, right? In order to see that and what query it has executed, you can see here select all the field means a star it is doing here from user, and it has written all the users here inside our read operation. Okay, now let's comment this and let's see what is next, how we can perform where conditions. See the same find method I have called here. Inside that we are passing where, okay, and inside the where we are passing an object and the field which is active is equals to true. Okay, now let's start it again. And you can see here what query it has executed. Select star everything from the user. It has performed where condition user dot is active is equals to question $1, and the parameter it has passed as true. Okay, and if we'll go see there, we are getting here 3 users only, right? Active users. Now let me comment it. Now let's see how we can uh, find by the ID, right? As we are performing by ID will be unique and it will have only the user which will have ID with 1, right? Let's search it with 3. So there is a user repository dot find one, and it is we are performing here where condition, that is id is equals to 3, right? Colon. We are passing here object. Let's execute this now. You can see we are getting Ace Johnson, right? And it has performed where condition id is equals to 3, right? Now let's move to next. Finding the unique field. Okay. Find one will return a unique field directly, means a only one row it will return it. So user by email we are finding here, and the full name we are getting here, right? The full name which we have defined, that it will be written here, and it is performing where condition to this. Okay. I think I need not to execute it again. You have understood this what we are doing here. Now let's move to next, how we can perform multiple condition. Okay, it is new. So indirectly it will perform and condition in this, okay, internally. See, find one we have performed here. Okay, you can use find also, and it will return all the user which will have these two conditions. Okay, and here we are adding is active is equals to true and age is equals to 28. Okay, now let's execute it and let's see the output. And we are taking here full name, and you can see the full name it has given here, and in here you can see it has performed and condition, right? Where and condition it has performed. Now let's move to next, and let's see how we can order the things, right? We'll order the things, right? Order by created it is a date field, and we are taking here descending. Okay, so big date to small date it will come, and last name as ascending, so we are ordering the things by two conditions, and it is and condition. Okay, let's execute it again, and you can see it has performed where it has performed order by, and user dot created at descending and last name as ascending. Okay, so this result we have got. It is a ordering we have seen where ordering. Now let's move to like suppose you are having millions of data, you will perform pagination, right? So how we can do that? Just we are having skip and take it is a limit. Okay, and skip is an offset in our database SQL query, you know already. If you know the SQL very well, what is offset, what is limit, you know, right? It is SQL terms. Offset is nothing but it will skip whatever the number we have given and take how many, whatever the limit we have taken. Okay, now let's execute it and let's see the output. So here you can see the pagination we are performing offset one. Offset is one is nothing but we are skipping first result, and we want the limit of 2, right? So 2 we have got. Totally in our database there is 5. If I will skip first 3, then and I will get here 2, I will get the 2 results, right? Again, let's take skip to 3, and let's take length as 3. Can you guess what result we will get here? We'll get here again 2, because the two things we have skipped, but the length we have given limit as 3, but we are having the row after skipping 3 there are only 2 rows, so we are getting the result as 2. Now let's find and count the things, right? So find and count, what it will do, just it will return the users whatever the result directly. If we'll uh, remove these two things, count, and we'll perform find only, the all the user it will return. But when we will use find and count, it will return the array with the users and the count. Okay. Now to verify, let's execute it. See here, the total found as 3 and showing as 3. All right. Means what it means? We are getting the count and find who is active, right? Total count we have got it as 3 users, right? And the users dot length also it is returning the same thing, right? In this way you can, if you want, if you required anywhere directly by the length you will get the count. But suppose you have performed pagination, right? So in that case the returned user suppose 3, but you are in the database having totally 10. Okay, so in the count it will return 10. Okay, by using length you will have 3 count, means whatever the result it has written. Now let's see how we can perform check conditions. Means we can perform check if, right? So user repository dot exist. Okay, exist nothing but it will return true or false. Okay, just it will return true and false. Here we are performing where condition where email is @example.com. It is exist or not. We are checking it. Let's see what is the output. It is returning true, right? Exists function it will return just true and false. Now let's move to last one, that is first what we are doing here, counting the records. Okay, count the record total user we are taking by calling user repository dot count. Okay, so it will return all the total records. Okay, and the user repository dot count, here we are performing where condition where is active is equals to true. The total was, it will return total, and how much active was there, it will return active, right? Now see, total was 5 and active is 3 we are getting. And you can see internally it has performed aggregate function, right? Count, and here it is a where condition. Now let's move to, let's create here update operations. Update hyphen operations dot ts. Let us remove this. We don't require that one. Now it is update operation. Let's directly move to our app.js first, and let's remove or let's comment this thing, read operations, and let's call here update operations await update operations. Let's import it. Okay, let me come to first the same thing, the repository we are getting here by using app data source repository get repository, and the model we are passing here, and the method one will load, modify, and save the things. Okay, first suppose we want to update whose email is @example.com. So we'll find one and we have got the user to update. Okay, and we are performing a check condition whether if the user exists, means it will have an object, otherwise it will be null, right? Or undefined it will be if it is not there. If it is there, then here we are updating the things, right? Let me open this in a JavaScript debug. Let's move to day 3. Okay, and let's add here debug points so that you will have some good view of that. Now let's execute npm run def, and you can see here, yeah. So first we are passing here where condition. Let's move to next line. So you can see in this object it has written the object of the user whose email is right. In this it is not undefined, okay, and created it and everything, the details it has returned. Okay, now let's move to next what we are doing. First see here, before this executing, the age was 28, see here, and we are updating the age to 29. See here, the object has updated in memory. Okay, we haven't used save till now. Okay, and let's move to next. So bio also previously it is null and it is assigned with some bio data. Now after calling this save method, it will save the things to database. Okay, after that you can see it has performed update operations and it has updated things. Okay, now in this way it will update the things. Just you need to find the instance first. After finding the instance, you can update the fields and you can directly call the save method with the object of that updated things. Okay, user repository dot save. Now let's see the method to directly updating the things, how we can update the things directly update. More efficient it is. Okay, because here we are performing two operation, right? First we are getting and then we are updating. What we are doing here, directly user repository dot update we are calling, and it is the first parameter. It is a condition to where condition. So email where bob at the rate example.com, first we are finding here, and what we are doing, the new values what we want to update it. So first object will be in this parameters we are passing two parameters. The both are the objects. First object is for filtration, that is where conditions, and here we need to pass the data which we want to update it. Okay, so directly it will update where and update it. Okay, in one condition. So it is faster than previous, because previously we are finding first, then we are updating. Directly we are updating the things here in the second case. Okay, now let me execute again npm run start. What else? Let me start here directly. See, directly it has executed update operation and with the where condition. Okay, that is a more efficient than previous. Now let's see the third thing, the updating multiple records, right? How we can update the things multiple. Suppose you want to update at a time three users. First, what you will do, three users you will get one by one. ID is equals to 1, ID is equals to 3, ID is equals to 4. Then you will perform one by one update operation, right? So bulk operation, how you can update. So here we are performing condition all inactive user. We are doing to active and some biodata reactive user, reactivated user. The biodata we are passing here. So it is a bulk update. Okay. We need not to call save again, because directly internally it will perform save operation. Okay. I need not to execute that again. I think you have understood. Now let's move to method for conditional updation, right? Conditionally updation, how we can perform it. So here you can see here we are performing method chaining. It is a method chaining, we can call it as. Okay. For every method we are calling So first what we are doing, user repository dot create query builder. First we need to call this, and by that we can perform the directly we can pass whatever the user we want to update here. Okay, so user model we have passed here. Query builder dot method chaining we are doing here. What we want to update it, right? So we have passed the user I want to update. Okay, what the things you want to update? I want to update set bio to senior member and is active is equals to true. Dot where condition I have performed. Okay, age. Okay, greater than colon age is age colon 30. Means suppose I will add here, I will make this age to ABC. So I need to pass ABC here like this. Okay, so this is our where condition. Now let me make it as again age and this also to age and execute at last. So it will execute the things. Just what you need to do, it is a method chaining. First of all, user repository create query builder. First you need to pass an object and dot what we want to update, the user we want to update it, and we have to call the set method. After that, where if you want to perform, if you don't want where condition, we can remove it and execute at last. Okay. Now let me execute here npm start. So you can see the update things, right? We are setting the things. Update user set this the thing I want to set it, and where age is equals to this thing, right? Now let us move to method 4, that is increment decrement the things, how we can increment and decrement it. Okay. Await repository dot user repository dot increment. Okay. Increment I want to do, that is id is equals to 1 I want to make. Okay. It is a where condition where id is equals to 1. Currently we don't have any user with id 1, so let us take id is equals to 3. It is a where condition and age by 1 I want to increment it. See, the candidate whose id is 3, the age was 29, and if you will add 1 here it will become 30. Okay, let's execute it. So if I'll come here again into the database, it has become 30 now, right? It has updated the age by, it has incremented the age by 1. Now let me come here and let's create the another file, that is delete operation how we can perform. Let's move to CRUD. Let's add delete operation.ts and let me paste the boilerplate code what I have created for you, and let's call this delete operations in the app.js delete operations. Await. Okay, fine. Now let me come into the deleted files and let me comment other things. The same thing, the user repository we are creating here. The method one, load and remove the things. Okay, first we are finding the things. You know already what is this, right? User repository dot find one and where condition we have passed. If that user exists, just we are calling await user repository dot remove it. Okay, so it will remove that things from the database. Okay, now next move to method 2. The same thing, directly it is a faster than this. Okay, directly deleting by condition. Here we are calling two methods. Like first we are getting, then we are deleting by remove method. Directly here, what we are doing, user repository dot delete method we are calling here. Okay, and the delete method we are calling email. Okay, directly it will delete. Now let's move to method 3, that is by ID, delete by ID. See here, directly here we are passing where condition in the object, but here we are passing the primary key. Whatever the primary key was there, we can pass here directly, so that by the primary key it will delete the user. Okay, this is the method 3. Now let's move to see how we can delete with conditions. So condition we have seen, and we are deleting the things. Okay, now let's move to method 5. It is a method chaining. The same thing we are doing here, that is query, create query builder, delete operation I want to perform. Okay, and from where to the user. Okay, from the user table I want to do, and here where condition we are passing, and you can see here mean age, right? Age less than or less than the 18. Who the candidate whose age is less than 18, we are deleting the things here. Okay, now at last, uh, you can see method 3 soft delete. If add add delete date column to entity, this does not actually delete, just make as deleted. Okay, so soft delete. Okay, this is also the one way where we can delete the things. Let me comment this now. Okay, in this way we can delete the things. At last, let's move to uh, repository. Let us keep as it is for your references. I will provide this GitHub link in the description. You can check out that. Now let me create here uh, src repositories. In this repositories, let me create one file as user repository. Why we are creating this? Because see here, it is providing directly some couple of methods like delete, save, remove, right? But if you want to perform some custom operation like to the user repository, you want the custom methods to perform it. Okay, the custom methods you want to perform it, so you can extend this with repository from the type ORM. Okay, let us see that. Let me save it and let me come to here. Just import here first repository from TypeORM. After that, let's import the user from the entities, and at last import app source from the dot/data source. Here I will perform. Here I will create one user repository class, and I will extend this to repository which we are imported from the TypeORM. And in this, it is a generic type, so we need to pass in the repository the table which we want to extend it, entity. Okay, so entity we need to pass here like this. Okay, now we are extended this thing, and it is generic type, so we need to pass this user internally. If you go to definition, see here entity extend objective library, so it is extending the entity which we have created. Okay, so now by using this object also we can do the same thing what we are doing previously. Okay, and in the constructor, here we need to create a constructor here, and in this constructor we need to call super method. In the super method, first one we need to again pass the user, the table name, and the app data source dot manager. Okay, as I have said, it is a manager, so we need to pass the dot manager. Okay, how we can create a custom methods. So before that, let me copy this and let me come directly to create, and inside this create, let me comment all this, and let me comment all this thing. Okay, and I will copy it. What I will do here, let's const uh, extended user repository. Let's take it as new user repository which we have just created. Okay, and I will copy this method one and paste it here, and here just take like this. Okay, and I will copy this extended user and I'll paste it here. And if I will execute now again, let me do one thing. I will delete the s first. Okay, and I will execute it. So is we don't have currently. So just that user instance I have created here, and I have called here save method, and let's see whether we are able to do the same thing or not. So before that, I need to come here and I'll comment this and uncomment the create. Let's start it. I think I have didn't save the thing, so let's create it and save it, and let's re-execute it again. npm run start. So you can see the user has created. What it means, the same repository which we are creating like this, by using this repository directly we can access all the things. But what is the plus point? Here we can create some couple of more methods in here. Okay, in this repository now. Okay, as we have extended it. Okay, the boilerplate will be same, just we need to extend the repository, and whatever the table was there we need to pass here, and the constructor just we need to pass like this. Okay, here suppose I want first the custom method which you find the user by range. Okay, how we can do that? Let's see. Custom method find user by age range. How we can do that? First we need to perform async and find by age range. Okay, and mean, let's take age as in the parameter minimum age and maximum age we will accept here. So it is also a number type. Okay, and I promise that we will return a user array here. Okay, it is a return type we have defined like this, and we need to return from here something. So return this dot, you can see create query and builder we can access here directly. And here again what we can do, instead of uh, getting the user directly, we can pass the user table name here, and we can perform where condition. Let's take where this user dot age less than or is equals to this max age we can take here. Okay, and let's pass here max age which we are let's take here mean age directly first. Mean age which we are getting directly from here, we are passing here, and the key value will be same, right? If we pass like this, let's take here min age. After that, and where we can perform here. Okay, let me take this to next line. And where you can see there's any or where. See here, or where is nothing but after this that will be or condition, and where is nothing but after this and where. Okay, user dot age. Let us take minimum age as greater than or equal to, and max age is less than or is equals to, and let's take max age. Here we need to pass max age. Let's take max age. After that, dot get many. Get many, what it will do? There is execute and get many. Get many to get multiple the things, and get execute also the same thing. Okay. So here we have performed custom operation. Okay. Find. If we'll come to create user, let me comment this now. This thing, and can we pass? Let's take here const user is equals to await extended user repository dot find uh, by range. You can see here I was able to access, and if we'll go to the definition, it is redirecting me to this function, right? So we are extending the things here. We are overriding and we are adding our custom method so that we can pass it and we can call it directly. Let's give minimum age as 10 and max age as 20 or 30. Okay, and let's console log to the user. Many users. Let's see what we will get. So you can see the many user, and you can see the all the age was greater than 30. Totally 3 users we have, 1, 2 and 3. Okay. See here, the 30 and 20, 35 we got, and 45 we didn't got the result, but other than that all the results we have got it. Okay. So we have override the things. Okay. Let's perform some couple of more methods here. Uh, let's find active user with a phone number. Okay. Do we have phone number? Currently, I think we don't have the phone number. So if you have, we can define that. Okay. So let's take only the active user first. Find active user. Okay. And here we need to take async promise. Let's return here the user array, and here we will return this dot find directly, and inside this we need to perform where condition. You can see, and let's take is active is equals to true. Okay, so if we'll access this now, we'll get the result. Now let's see how we can perform some searching related thing, like search by name. Okay, custom method search users by name. Let's perform here async search by name search term. Let's take it as type string. So in the parameter we'll receive this, and what we will return here, we'll return users array again here, and return here this dot create query builder and the users table name we will pass here. As in the table you can see here it is a users. Okay, so user singular name you can pass here, the table name, and dot where condition, and this user dot first name I like. Okay, means I was we are performing here in Kansas City. Okay, searching, and the search term I want to perform or user dot last name I like. Okay, and the search will be here, search as is a I like operator. We need to pass question mark and question mark, right? Question mark. Inside this we need to pass whatever the search operation we are doing. Let's add here search directly, search term, right? Let me take here control P, toggle wrap, at last dot get many. Okay, so search by name, the custom method we have defined. At last we will define the last method, that is getting users stats. Okay, suppose you are having some dashboard in your UI and you want to give the stats of that. So how you can do that? Let's get user statistics. Okay, as async get user stats, and here uh, first of all uh, let's perform here query builders. Okay, so we want the three things: total users, active users, average users. Okay, so how we can get that? Let's take await here, and we'll create here one promise dot all, and in this array we'll perform the queries, three queries. That is this dot count, it will return all the counts of the users, and this dot count, in this count we can perform one where condition, right? Where you can see I was able to access where who the users which is active, I want to see that. After that I want to return this dot create query builder, and the same thing user I will pass here dot dot select, means I want to select the aggregate function we can add like this. Okay, user dot age aggregate function we have passed, and the name what we want, right? Average age I want, means it is a type of alias we are passing here, second parameter. Okay, in the select. Now at last get a raw one. Okay, so get raw one is nothing but you can see here uh, it raw one is nothing but one data it will return, and the raw is nothing but this thing, right? Select we are performing aliases which is not exist in our database, but we are performing here average, right? Aggregate function. So one, two, three things we are returning in the promise, means whenever all this thing is executed, it will be returned here. So let's take total users, which is this dot count, and the second parameter we are getting active users, right? At last we are getting average age. The age average we are getting here, right? The same field name we need to take here. Okay. All the three things we have got, and at last we will return in the object total as total users, means the count we will receive here, total user it is. We can take a total users also. After that, total. Let's take here active, who are active users, and at last average age. Let's take inactive. Inactive. So inactive will be total users minus active users, right? After that, let's take average age is equals to parse float of, we need to take average age dot avg age or 0. See here we are getting some type error. No value exists in the scope of average age, okay, declared. So it don't know whether it exists or not. So let's copy it and paste it here again. Let's take it as any. Still we are getting. Okay, just let's pass directly the average age whatever we got there. And okay, got it. Why we are getting this means I got that it is an object, so we need to pass like this. Okay, so whenever you want to perform any CRUD operations or you want to extract a repository, you need to follow this type things. Okay, whenever you work on a project, you should use extend repositories. Tomorrow we'll explore entity relation and you will learn how to create one-to-one relationships user to profile. Okay, build one-to-many relations user to post, understand foreign key and joins operation, how we can perform load related data efficiently. Okay, so that's all for today. Let's meet in next video.